I hope you can hear me okay. Else, please let me know. Uh, nice. This was from last time. You remember this game, maybe? This was Carson's game versus Aronian. Carson just played f4. Unusual move in this kind of position. I would say in the IQP position, usually uh, we don't apply this dance of the f pawn. But I showed you last time there was a game by Botvinnik, I think, where he had also used this idea. So it was definitely not new to. Yeah, this is the last. You're right, Sartak. Last installment about um, thinking in both directions. Exactly. That's the last. This is the last time we will have a look at this topic. Yeah, this is. I just wanted to show you. This was Botvinnik's game, right? Let's see if you are fast learners. What did the great Botvinnik play here? You get for this mission only 25 seconds. All right, go for it. That's right, Gordon. Congratulations. John Sam, Daniel Best, Sarthak, Wyatt, Ryan, Al Morris. You all got it right, just as Botvinnik did back then. Elephant Chess Genius, and so on. Yeah, a lot of people got this right. Chess Art, awesome Owen. Please go ahead, Chess Art. How do you continue here? Finally, I got something right, says Sarthak. Nice. Unusual way of attacking, but as you can see, the bishop was not really that active at this point. It was waiting for some piece to help it. If you like, you can move the pieces, Chess Art. I gave that honor to you, but you don't seem to be around, so I will ask. Oh no, that is Chess Art. Exactly. F4, you can see that if G6, you win the exchange, right? We talk about thinking in both directions. Now we should think a little in the other direction about the rook on F8, right? I didn't know anything, then I guess I got it right. Okay, good for you. If these are the answers that you provide when you don't know anything, just imagine when you actually know about things. Then everything will be crystal clear. Exactly. So in this way, we're actually winning the exchange in an interesting way. So like intertwining the tactical and the positional ideas. F4 was played in the game. They played rook c8 and Botvinnik simply continued. And here it's clear to everyone that once we play f5 and we're able to undermine black's pawn chain, this bishop on b3 becomes a giant. No, it becomes a giant. No, in the game they played, he takes f5 and he just took back. And yeah, what black had many problems in this position. But you can see that there is some kind of pressure against f7. You could even imagine some kind of tactical motive where black is overloaded to the different defensive duties. So yeah, that's what happened back in those days. Botvinnik versus Vidmar. And what we saw last time was, let's see if I can bring it up. What we saw last time was this one, right? Yeah, so this was Carlsen's example. And here, interestingly, he played in the same way against Aronian, f4. They played g6, and he actually played f5 anyway. And here, as you can see, tactics favors white greatly once the bishop goes to h6. No matter how black takes back, they have problems. Now, here they have problems on the g file, while in the game, I think Aronian took like that, and then he had problems with this bishop again. So yeah, you could say somehow the play of Botvinnik was connected to Carlsen's play, or the other way around. So nice. Let's continue. This is the last time we will look at this topic for a while. I have some further examples. Let me get started. I wanted to show you something played last year in India. I thought this was a very interesting game. Um, let's see if I can bring this up. Um, so, thinking in both directions, think a little about tactics, think a little about strategy. I won't tell you which one is involved. You will have to find out yourself. So, on this one, I think I will just ask you for, let's see here. I'll pick one variation here for you. Let's see. Um, I'll pick one variation. Let's see if I can get this right. Yeah, something like that, maybe. Um, does that make sense? I think so. All right, here we go. Take your time, please. Don't send me the moves too soon. All right. Some sounder. All right, I'll mute everybody. Okay. Yeah, many possibilities here. Many possibilities. In this game between Harsha with white pieces and black is Gupta, you can see those of you who are good with opening theory, you can see which opening this is, right? You can see that easily from the pawn structure. Aha. Interesting. Yeah, we got many moves here, but nobody plays like the Indian Grandmaster so far. Uh-huh. Yeah, I can tell you from the start that white is better in this position, right? Request. Okay, we will have a request then because nobody played like they played in the game. Yeah, if you play bishop h6, I don't think it's a bad move. I don't think it's bad. But one thing that I'm noticing here is that actually the bishop was useful for controlling that square. So maybe black would actually play this move, even if we know that in the Grunfeld you should watch after this bishop. I'm not sure how dangerous this is, and I mean I have some pressure at this pawn also. So maybe it's possible. I think there are multiple possibilities here, as often happens when we talk about strategy. Maybe this is also okay for white. Um, yeah. So some of you are saying d takes c5. He didn't play that, and I know a variety of variations actually in the Grunfeld. I'll write that in the Grunfeld. In the Grunfeld, it's rather common. It's not an unusual idea to give away the c5 pawn with, well, that's not the right way of putting it. It's not an unusual idea to let white win a pawn by d takes c5. That's a better way to express it. Yeah. So I know a bunch of variations where you actually do this and you let them take once more and white ends up with a bad pawn structure. But specifically, if you do this, I looked at this, of course. I think I take and I take on c5, and when you take, I actually offer the trade of queens here. This is what I think is what black would play in this case. Um, so you can see white is a healthy pawn up, you could say, but at the same time, black has some counterplay. This pawn is hanging. If you trade the queens, well, you have two pawns now hanging, and if you go e5, I guess I can consider to take like like that, right? Take and play. Bishop takes e5, and black should be okay here, I guess, in this position. So d takes e5, definitely something to think about. But as far as I know, it's common that you give away that pawn in that way, like they take the pawn like that, but they end up with a bad pawn structure. It can be worth a pawn to do this in some Grunfeld lines. Um, yeah, then you had some other ideas here. E5 is what many of you wanted to play. So I like this move in a way. I like it. It gives up something, but it also achieves something. It gives up the light squares a little, but it also helps white to think in terms of an attack, maybe like the bishop and the queen and the knight and so on. Yeah, I think maybe on this occasion I would play this move with black knight 7, and I'll bring my knight to f5 or maybe to d5. Maybe it's not exactly the right moment to play e5. It's a move that we have very often in the pocket, this move, e5. But I would maybe not play it here. All right, any other move that we should talk about? Bishop h6 and e5, that's what most people are saying. Bishop f4, I'm happy for those of you who proposed this move, like legendary GOAT, Rohan, Khan King Sam, Daniel Best, and Tiger Saki. It's an interesting move because you're thinking in terms of provocation. I mean, I would like to play e5, of course. If I could bring about this pawn structure, I think it's good for me. But you don't have to do that. You could play something like bishop g3, right? One thing you can notice in this tense position is that this diagonal opened up, and it would be interesting for white to bring their pieces to that diagonal, like playing bishop c4 and knight g5. Fortunately for black, if bishop c4 is ever executed, if white ever makes it to play bishop c4, they can maybe play something like h6, and knight g5 is prevented. But this is something to remember. You're thinking along the right lines, I think. In the game, they play something else. All right, I think we talked enough now. So I will request. But now you get less time, of course. Sorry, now you get less time um, on this occasion because you already had one try here. So yeah, you get only 30 seconds. So how do you think the Indian Grandmaster built up a nice advantage in this game? Interesting move, Sarthak. I will play a6 there, definitely. The same goes for you, smart goldfish. So Ryan and the elephant, you can consider yourself winners. That's perfectly fine. What you're saying, Rohan, I also like your way of thinking. Hollow Blade, that's a little, what can I say? A little too optimistic, maybe, but interesting. Your idea in any case. So okay, we have some people who definitely were on the right track here. So we can ask Ryan, for example. Please go ahead, Ryan. What was your idea here? Aha, that's what I played in the game, H4. Please notice we talked about this in the past. I'm usually saying that the H4, H5 idea is very typical when there is no knight. There is no knight on F6. So this basically, okay, here goes the message. Yeah, so this makes a lot of sense. No matter how black reacts, there is some kind of problem for them, right? They cannot play h6 in the first place because the pawn is hanging, right? If they play h5, which they didn't play in the game, but I thought we could talk about it. Ryan, you were saying bishop h6, and I think already now this is more interesting for white. Yeah, now for sure, if in the original position, if you said bishop h6, there was a plan like this also for black. Sometimes they play like this in these positions and they bring the rook to g7. But this I can safely forget about if these two moves are included, right? If we do this first, the move f6 is probably never going to happen because black will have problems on the light squares in that case. So this is already a little unpleasant. I'm not sure what black would play here. Maybe here I should actually play bishop h8 and try to defend. g4, yeah, very interesting. Who is playing, by the way? Ryan. Oh, wow. Ryan, interesting move. Yeah, I guess I take it. Yeah, I badly need to create counterplay now. I have to open up the game in some way here. Um, yeah, I mean, I can probably not take because there is a pin on the c file, but I'm hoping I can put my queen here. I was going to use this sniper move, queen d8, and target this guy and also target that. I don't know if this works, but I think I have some chances. Yeah, I understand, Ryan. Yeah, you didn't calculate too much. It's okay. But don't forget the Grunfeld, it has a lot of potential for black, a lot of tactical potential. So usually moves like g4, it's a little too good to be true to be able to break the Grunfeld. So all right, back to the position here. So we were saying that h4, h5, the inclusion of these two moves, it has some advantages. So anyone, what could you say about that? How to exploit the the h5 move, the h5 move. I mean, blacks, how could I express this? The black h7 to h5 move. Interesting. Yeah, many of you seem to be like very interested in pushing g4. That's not exactly what I meant. Um, one square was weakened here, right? Yeah, maybe e5, and then I would probably play like last time. So then I don't know. Do you think this really helped us? I'm not convinced. It seems like it helped black too. Yeah, stop the spamming, please. So this helps to make black's knight stronger on f5. That's what I would think. Yeah, okay, Hollow Blade. Let's go for Hollow. Hollow, you're on the right track here. Please go ahead. I'm trying to make you. Yeah, you can play the moves now. So, oh, it was not. Anyway, whoever it was, do me a favor and tell me how to continue here with white. Exactly. Now we play bishop f4. Now it's different. Guess why the bishop is retreating from g5 this time? Aha. Okay, I'll play the same move as last time. We talked about the importance to keep the tension here. We don't want to take because they take and they open up the d file. Exactly. Now I think we understand what's going on, right? Suddenly, white's knight is coming to this square and the bishop is coming to c4. Of course, black can try to stop this, but I'm just giving you an idea about what could happen next, right? So difficult position for black here. I looked a little at this, but it was not easy to see how to how to defend here with black in this position. At least I can't see it really how to continue here. I don't know if you play something like queen, maybe the same move, queen d8, but I think this time it's different. No, maybe you could. Yeah, now right now they're about to take, so maybe we can push the pawn and there is actually material dropping on b5. Sorry, it's good to have tactics also on the menu, right, on the agenda to look at tactics also. So yeah, unpleasant for black in any case. This position knight g5 is a clear resource for white. Let me show you very quickly what happened in the game. So Harsha played h4, and here Gupta replied with the move h6. Interestingly, the grandmaster, he could have continued just with h5, right? They could continue with this move, but he said, no, I don't want to give black the slightest counterplay. So if you don't want to give black any counterplay, what would you play? Aha, you're right, heuristic mind. We can deal with the other ideas later, but first we can prevent our opponent's play, like Karpov style. If you remember Karpov's games, this was a typical feature in his games, that he would first limit the opponent's counterplay and so on. Knight a5 was played in the game. Black is trying to get some counterplay on the queen side. Maybe the queen can come to c6. But please notice that the knight is now moving away from the action. Now, of course, you're completely right. Thanks, Hollow, for sending us the next move. h5, that's what white played. And I have a question to you here. I would like you to think about this. Is white about to play h6, or is white about to play h takes g6? What do you think? Which is white's main idea here? h6 or h6? You see, not all of you are on the same page here. Aha. I can see a clear majority for h6, but if you ask me, it's probably the other move. I think white is more interested in playing h takes g6, because if they achieve that, then it's enough to bring the queen to the h file to create serious threats, right? Of course, we are not going to trade off queens. Then we can use your move e5 that some of you were saying. Please notice that if we go e5, well, the knight is now a little far away from its intended plan of going to the light squares. So we can also look a little at what our opponent has done, and we can try to take measures. So yeah, I think h6 is perfectly possible. It's good in the endgames and so on. But actually, in this case, white is more inclined to play h takes g6. But it's good to know that computers, for example, they really love this move h6. Here they played f6, and what the computer wants to play here is exactly h6. Interesting. No, that's Stockfish who likes to play something like this, and I think it's really very happy about this kind of advanced pawn even in the endgame and so on. Yeah, you know about this, of course, in the endgames and so on. You can bring a rook to attack the pawn on h7 and so on. But in the game, Harsha played in a more human way. He played first bishop f4, the move that we already know about. And here black played queen c6. Yeah, we saw this, trying to put some pressure on the pawn. White took in the game, and the game, it's a complex example that we have started with today, but I thought still it could be interesting for you. In the game, he played for an attack. He played h takes g6, h takes, and e5. All right, I have a question to all of you. How do you think black should build up counterplay in this position? Anyone? Any idea for counterplay with black? Aha, you're right, Hong Pao. G5, that's what he played in the game. Clever move. Tactics alert. No, tactics alert, because after bishop g3, yeah, we don't have time to take because our queen is in the air. So bishop g3, of course, he played g4 also. Very clever play by Gupta. And now, as you can see, the knight cannot go just anywhere. After pawn takes, bishop takes. Of course, white would have loved to play knight e5. Strategically, this would be the best move, but tactically, it's a huge blunder, right? So, oh, is there a connection problem again? I hope no. Please let me know. I try to fix my settings here. So let me know if anything is wrong, and I'll try to improve it. So this was a very timely move by Gupta in the game. G4, and white played queen f4. Now the game got very complex. You can see the idea: pawn takes, bishop takes, and it's hanging. But black played like that. Very clever defense by black, right? Rook f8. Queen takes d4, rook g7. I told you, the Grunfeld, it has a lot of counter-attacking potential. It's a very interesting opening. Queen h5, rook h7, and the game was later drawn by repetition. But it was possible to improve upon this variation. So after queen c6, he played in the game e5, and black found this clever move. Sorry, he played in the game pawn takes, and e5, and black found this very clever counterattacking idea. So I have a question to all of you. How could we possibly distract black's battery? How could we do something against that battery before we push e5? We would like to remove black's queen from this diagonal. Yeah, d5, interesting move. I didn't mention this at the very beginning, of course. d5 is another typical move that white would love to play in these structures, but here we cannot do it because the queen was hanging, right? And here I guess it's a similar situation. Let's see if I can come back to the game. We are here, right? So if you go d5, well, I will have to take it. And I guess I'm favored by this opening of the position, but okay, you never know. You wanted to take, is that so? Crazy variation, but I don't think this works for more than one reason. Maybe the simplest is just to take on. No, if I take here, I think this is a little dangerous. No, yeah, I think I should rather take like that, right? Anyone with a sharp tactical eye? Is this bad for black, or black is okay? Seems to me black is okay here. Oh, well, I'm very happy that you don't have bishop c4, by the way. I'm very fortunate about that. Yeah, black is probably okay here. So, yeah, but you're very close. You're very close. It's something about the d file. Black's winning. Yeah, exactly, Oski. You can play rook e8 in the end. That's what I thought. You're right, Cesar and Rohan. Now he actually could have played this d takes c5. I was saying this was bad a few moments ago, but here it's actually very powerful because it means that black will temporarily lose control here. If rook takes, or rook will invade, this will be very nasty for black. And if they take with pawn instead on c5, well, now we can take. And I think from here you see the difference, right? Now the queen is not in the battery anymore. So what would white play here, of course? Anyone? Yeah, we can take also. We can take first if you like. We take and we push e5. Now it's a different story. If they go g5, you can see that they are exposed in this position. You can play something like bishop g3 if you like. And now we have more liberty with the knight. You could play something like this. The pawn is hanging. And anyone, what would you play in this position with white? Yeah, not very difficult, I think. You could play something like bishop h4 maybe, or knight c4. Yeah, I think this is the best move. Knight c4 and knight takes and bishop takes. I think we could improve this, if we included this move before. We should probably do that, right? A little earlier here. Let's see. Whenever we have the chance to include that move, we should do it. Like here, for example. Let's see. No, not here, probably. Let's see. Here, I think it's okay to include it, right? Here, it's probably smarter to include it. If the queen goes here, yeah, exactly. We can probably put a rook on d6 in that case. So we get some extra possibilities. So if they put the queen somewhere else, now I think we can play like you were saying, now knight e2 and bring the knight to c4. Anyway, it's not completely clear. Yeah, maybe. Queen takes a4 is also possible. Yeah, you're right. Another thing I was thinking about is that, yeah, this is also interesting. Another thing I was thinking about is that in this position that we had here, maybe we could actually keep this in the pocket also, the h6 move that some of you were saying. So you could also start with e5 straight away, and after g5, yeah, bishop g3, and we have the same situation. Maybe here we can actually use the computer's favorite move. Anyone? What would you play here with white? Aha, exactly. Everybody sees this move, of course, because there are even like tactics with queen g5 coming up. So yeah, this looks unpleasant for black, right? They're in trouble here in this position. So yeah, long example. Bishop down, maybe queen check, and we can play like you were saying, knight c4. And maybe we didn't get rook d1 in, but we still have a nice position here, right? Now I think it's actually good to have the pawn there. So that's another takeaway, that we can keep it or we can trade it. Yeah, black will have to be careful in this game. We have some plans of maybe bringing the queen to f6 and so on. So yeah, very complex example. Now I admit I started with a very complex one, but main takeaway here, well, two takeaways maybe. One, don't hurry to take on c5 or push e5, and two, keep this plan in the pocket, h4, h5. Very, very typical, especially in the Grunfeld when there is no knight on f6, for example. All right, I think we understood this. h4, no matter how black reacts, there is some kind of concession. The pawn can get further, or if they go h5, we talked about this interesting plan with bishop f4 and bringing the knight to g5. All right, let's continue then. Let's continue. Let's take another example. Yeah, we did so much strategy, so guess what I have coming up next? Guess what's coming up next at this point in this game? Oh, sorry. Let me see. That I had a slight technical issue here, but we will give it a new try. Wait for me, please. One moment. Let's see. Can this be tactics or can it be strategy? Why it doesn't let me copy it? Wow. Well, I wonder what's the problem here. I hope it's not out of memory or something. Wow, why did that happen? Choose a PGN file. I'll refresh the page, all right? That's often a good solution. So just wait for me a little moment and I will come back, all right? Okay, so we're back. We're back. Now let's see if Chessable Classroom is more happy about importing a new example. Let's see if I can make this right. Let's see. Yeah, it seems I managed to. So we're playing with the white pieces. Guess if this is tactics or strategy? Well, you will have to find out yourselves. And you will also have to find out which is the best way to continue here with the white pieces. All right. Let's see if I can get this completely right. If you do this properly, we're talking about, I think we're talking about five moves here, right? Something like that. Okay, you're very good with tactics, so I think only 1 minute, right? And I gave away the part of the solution, though. Don't play that chess out. I can take with the queen, right? And the very best you can get there is get back the material. So I don't think that's what you want, right? You're on the right track, Charles and Ryan. Maybe you win a pawn, but careful about knight e3. Are you aware of knight e3 though, Charles and Ryan? Yeah, Sarthak, I'll take with the queen there. I don't believe in that. Interesting move by Rohan. Can you play like that? You probably can, right? But do you win something? I'm not sure. Okay, HDI chess, we have a winner here. Yeah, HDI chess, congratulations. That's basically the right solution. So HDI and Legendary Goat, you are the winner so far. Great work. Okay, we're done. Let's hear what HDI chess has to say about this. So please go ahead, HDI. What did the young Indian grandmaster play here? Rook b5. Of course, this was tactics now. One way to understand if it's about tactics or strategy, perhaps you can count the number of pawns, I would say. The more pawns, usually the more strategy on the board. Here, there are no pawns on these three files, so it's not surprising that there is a lot of piece play involved, and that often means tactical ideas. So rook b5, of course, we are now pinning the knights or skewering the knights, or call it what you like. Black will have to do something about those knights. In the game they played here, queen e7. And now we would like to attack the knight again. Some of you were saying knight takes a5. I understand the point, but you're letting me play knight e3. This looks annoying, not to say the least, right? Because there are some threats here to worry about. So I don't think this works, no? What about rook takes a5, says Heuristic Mind. Let's see. Rook takes a5. Again, tactics. No, I guess the first move to look at here is knight e3. You're okay here, Heuristic? Your rook seems to be completely out of place. I mean, speaking in general terms about this position, your rook is having its own life or vacation on the queen side, no? So if queen takes, knight takes, I mean, queen takes, you'll have to play king h1, and I'm starting to look for mating ideas here. Anyone with a sharp tactical eye? I can see a tactic here, but I will wait for you. No, my tactic is very bad, by the way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Queen e1. I was thinking about this, but it's a gigantic self goal because they take and they mate us. Yeah, don't listen to me. But Heuristic Mind says queen f2, and Rohan also queen f2. This seems to be very powerful, but you don't threaten this though. can I play something sneaky like queen e2, or is that too brilliant? That's probably too brilliant, no? But I don't know why. Maybe I can play that, right? Yeah, I think so. Exploiting the back rank motive. So I think black should look for something better now at this point. It's safe to say that black must have good chances here with so many active pieces. So there must be something. Queen e2. No. Oh, rook takes, queen takes, knight d3. Oh, that looks very convincing. Who said that? L008 always has the right moves. That must be the brilliant solution here. I just imagine that in some line this rook will drop off also. Yeah. If anyone has something to say against L's idea, please go ahead. White seems to be dead here. Exactly. I can see a way to save white from multiple possibilities here. This is, I guess, L's key variation, and yeah, we win the queen in this case. So nice, coach. What did I miss? I went to the bathroom. Yeah, you didn't miss so much. We were looking at this example. It started like that. We were saying that rook b5 is the most promising move. We are skewering the knights, or whatever you wish to call it. Black needed to defend. They cannot defend like this because then the other knight is dropping off. So they played queen e7, and here the young Indian grandmaster played queen f2. We were saying that rook takes a5 ignores the huge threat of knight e3. Yeah, exactly. Knight and queen and knight duo is too good, says L. I agree completely. That's a very strong attacking team. So let's go back to what happened here in the game. Queen f2. Now black badly needs to find a way to defend the knight or try some tactic in the game. They tried some tactic. They played here knight c3. Please go ahead, HDI. You were showing this rook takes d8. We get rid of the threatened rook. Rook takes d8. And now we should be a little careful. Rook takes d5. Black tries the last chance here, knight d1, trying to deflect white's queen from the defense of the rook. And here you have at least two good moves. Yeah, that's, let me remember here. Which one did I play in the game? I actually don't remember. Sorry, guys, I don't remember completely. One of them was played in the game. This is one of the nice winning moves. And the other winning move, I think it's this one. But then you have to play the endgame, right? But this must be winning, right? This endgame, it seems completely won for white. The knight coming here and so on. But the other one is very nice now. This is very aesthetic, rook c7. Okay, Hong Pao, what about queen f5? Let's see, what about queen f5? When did that happen? Rook b5, queen e7. Well, I must say, at least generally speaking, queen f2 has a much nicer look to it. But if you can make queen f5 work, well, congratulations. I would certainly start with knight e3 again here, Hong Pao. And what do you want to play now? I mean, I'm attacking your queen and I'm also attacking your rook. Yeah, I don't like this, honestly. Looks difficult. On a side note, in any opening where you have the pawn on f3, think of a queen's gambit, exchange variation, or maybe some hedgehog formation with pawns like this and that. I think it's rather common to put the queen on f2, if you see what I mean. It's actually a natural move in this structure, since you don't have a pawn on that square anymore. It's a good place for the queen. It's a good hideout square for the queen. I remember some game by Smyslow where he put this queen on the square also. And so that's maybe something to remember also, thinking in more strategical terms. So, yeah, nice. I'm happy that many of you found this. Rook b5, very nice tactic and important here to play queen f2. Something about harmony. No, white's pieces are in very harmonious places. The bishop is great also, taking care of these squares and so on. So nice. Let's continue. Please watch your language in the chat, please. Yeah, please watch your language. This is our next example. This was played very recently. Two very, very strong grandmasters. They faced each other in the Dubai tournament. Yu Yanggi with the white pieces versus Erigaisi playing black. It's Yu Yanggi to move. As you can see, the queen is in there. Yu Yanggi played here. Queen d3 in this Catalan battle. Okay, this is very fast for you. I won't give you much time for this mission. You get only 45 seconds. All right. I think I saw this game, says Rohan. Good for you. I also saw it. It's a nice display by Erigaisi. Something went wrong in this Catalan by Yu Yanggi. Great work, Charles Hua, Ryan the greatest. You're truly the greatest. You have already found a solution. Congratulations. Is this tactics or is it strategy? Well, sometimes we can't be too sure. The this can be confusing. We have to think in both directions. Almoris, congratulations. Charles, you also found it. Mickey Mouse. Aha. Um, and then we have other moves proposed here. So yeah, I can see many strategical moves, but I can see that the tactical move is it's also popular here. So please go ahead, Almoris. You can show us what did Erigaisi play at this point. G5 as a bolt from the blue. You would say, "Hey, what's going on? Why did I play G5? If they this is a like a positional position, right? We should go for Queen E4, trading queens, bring in the rook. Maybe somebody said that we should play Knight E4 to centralize the knight, or maybe Knight E5 to try to bring the knight to C3, or I don't know, something like that. But there is a killer move here. There's a killer move which Almoris noticed here. G5. Of course, of course. This is the first thing to look at. Then if you see that this fails, then of course we continue with the more strategical options, right? So G5 was playing in the game. G4 is a big threat. You can see that if the king goes down, Almoris, what's the problem then? Yeah, this can be seen by most chess players. Exactly, rook C1. That's a problem when your opponent has the open file and you don't have control of the last rank. So he played in the game, I think, H3. The next move is not difficult to understand. We keep up the good work on the king side. Now G4 has turned into a threat. What he did here in the game, I think what Yu Yanggi did, he did the right thing. He tried to stir up the game in some way. So he played D5 here. I think this is the right choice in practical terms. Unfortunately, the position is really bad. So what do you think, Almoris? What do you think Black played? And there can probably be more than one solution, but he played just like you're saying, G4. So this also means that we fix like some kind of favorable pawn structure, right? Knight E5 was played in the game. Do we want to trade queens, or should the queens stay? What do you think? Trade or keep the queens? Whenever this we have touched upon many times. Whenever we are about to trade queens, first thing to look at, aha, you got it. We look at king safety, right? So of course they should stay on the board. Aha, we should keep the queens on because, yeah, our king is also a little open, but white's king is more exposed, right? So he said, no, I will keep the kings. Sorry, keep the queens on, and he played here knight takes d5 simply with multiple threats. Please notice you cannot play queen e4. Anyone? Tactics alert. For you guys, 1 second to find knight f4, Hong Pao, heuristic mind, and so on. Aha. So yeah, difficult for poor Yu Yanggi. He played e4, and here Erigaisi just went back with the knights, and white was a pawn down, and their king was weak and fast pawn, and so on. So yeah, don't play knight e3. By the way, that's also the reason why I asked you. I wanted to see if somebody would fall into this. So yeah, very often there is only one good move in the tactical battle. So knight f4 definitely for choice here. Funny tactic. We are picking up the queen in this way since white cannot play king f3. All right. Why did I show you this example? I simply wanted you to notice that even in this kind of quiet position, we need to keep a tactical eye. There can always be unexpected possibilities and so on. White is, of course, very unfortunate that they cannot play e4. They're missing one tempo to arrange the pieces in that way. So, yeah, you can't trade kings, yeah. Oh, you can in some other chess. All right, I see. We will continue. Let's take our next example. Let's see here. We will take a slightly... Is this an older game or so? Yeah, from last year. I get the same error message again. Yeah, I don't know why this happened. Today, Chessable is not on my side. Why doesn't it let me? It says the game already exists, but that's not true. It doesn't exist. I'll refresh, all right? I'll have to refresh again. Sorry, guys. I don't know why this happens. I will ask Chessable later. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, we are back on track. Wish me good luck this time importing the game. Let's see if I can make it. Yeah, I think I did. So we have this game played in the German Bundesliga. Grandmaster Gustafsson with white versus Zeller. It's white to play. I would like to know how you think that we should continue in this position. I'll quiz you for 3 moves. I think that will be enough. Let's see if you can handle the position in the same precise way as Gustafsson did. All right, here we go. You get 1 minute for this mission. Tactics or strategy? What do you think? Careful, skilled saber. I think I have this typical trick, Queen takes e3. No, if you play that, um, the bishop on g7. No, respect for the Benoni bishop. Um, it's too soon to play that. The same goes for you, Daniel, on the elephant. Unless I'm blundering something here, but seems to me I have Queen takes e3. You're on the right track, Rohan and Sarthak. I guess. Wow, what would I play there? I guess I take on a4 and I play Queen b3 in that case. Okay, what else? f4. Wow, that's a really brave move. If you played f4, you really risk a little, but you can also gain quite a lot if you play that. f4, maybe bishop. Can I play bishop h6 or that's too much? That's probably too much. Yeah, okay, we will talk about that. Let's see who got closest here. Chess Vedant, you're very close. Who else? Wow. We didn't have a lot of success on this one, I'm afraid. HDI Chess, you were also very close. But nobody managed to. Yeah, we will requiz. Yeah, no one got it. We will requiz, but please, before we requiz, I would really like to talk briefly about the moves that you had said, because else you would just say other people's moves, right? Right? So, knight a4, this was a favorite move among many of you. I understand the point. My queen is in danger, and the knight would like to go to b6 and so on. I think the trade is always good for black, the trade of bishop for knight, but let's see very briefly the tactical details. This move is also something that black can always consider in the Benoni. I don't know if it makes sense. Does it make sense right now? Yeah, I'm not really a true Benoni player, so it takes some time for me to understand this. I guess if I played knight e3, you will probably take with the bishop, right? And you'll take with the knight, and my queen is not having a good destiny right now. Yeah, this looks horrible, no, for black, so I should probably not play like that. So my question will be, can I play bishop takes? You take with the rook, and I have only one square for my queen. I'll have to go to b3. Can I survive this, or maybe I'm dead lost here? Yeah, I'm probably lost here, right? You just take. You're right, Hong Pao, and you can even play f4 and rook b4 and things like that. Yeah, this looks terrible. So what do you think? Why didn't Grandmaster Gustafsson play knight a4? Well, because he saw something better, of course. But apart from that, what could black do here? Yeah, anyone who is good with the Benoni, let me know what should black play here, because I can see it. Yeah, prepares to trap queen, exactly. Well, or should I go back to the other line again, 93 and 93? It's an invasive move, 93. Or is there something better? Wow, this was really tricky to find out what to play here with the black pieces. Yeah, good thing I don't play the Benoni. All right, I have a question then. If I take, you play rook takes, and I just stay like that, do I stand any chances of saving this? I have like some small ideas of bringing my knight to d3 and opening up the c file or something like that. If you play b3, well, I can take on b3, right? Speaking of tactics, what was your move here? You don't take like that because I take like this, right? Yeah, I don't see this clearly. I'm in tactics mode now. I can't see why this is wrong for black. So maybe not b3, no, maybe something else. You can also take the pawn. I don't know what happens if you take it. Maybe that's okay. Yeah, what would we play here? Take probably, and you take with a, yeah, but you're probably better here anyway. All right. This looks nice for white. I agree, but everything is relative. No, everything is relative. Yeah, this looks very nice for white. I can't think of a good move with black. Or am I being too pessimistic? Maybe rook c8 though. No, or something like that. And if you take, I take back like that, and I try to send the rook to c2. Yeah, I don't know. It's I'm not surprised if white is much better here, but I would certainly not resign with black in this position. I still have some counterplay, right? Rook b4 maybe. Aha. Okay, I'll have to take this pawn, I guess. I'll try to introduce my rook on the second file. Hong Pao says bishop b6. All right, Hong Pao. Don't forget that there might be some tactics here at some point, but okay, I can't make it work right now. I would like to take and play bishop d4 and then play rook c2. Did you imagine that? But I don't think it works. Yeah, I'll play rook a2 instead, and then I'll try to play rook c2. But it's good to know about this tactic. No, just for the record. No, just for the record, this is would not be the first time in history that Black managed to play something like that. But I think Hong Pao will say to me that White will just play rook before then. So I see what you mean. Aha, exactly. Sounds like so. I won't play like that. Yeah, I'll play rook a2 instead. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is not the best White can get. Don't forget that now also the knight wakes up. So I think we should go back. Okay, knight a4, half a point if you like. Half a point if you play knight a4. It's a good strategical move, that's for sure. f4 was proposed by some people. That's a really risky move. You're helping me to get some activity. I think here, what's the name of this? Benoni players would play knight c4, knight e3 here, sorry, without thinking twice. And if you take like that, I can see some juicy tactic with bishop d4 maybe. And I think Black is for choice now. Maybe we can recycle queen f2 from the last exercise, right? Maybe queen f2. Aha, maybe white is actually better here. So I take that back. Okay, I should probably not play like that, but still I think Black has some chances here. Yeah, f5 is maybe what the Benoni player would play here, right? f5. That's the way you play this opening. You go all in and you hope things will work out fine. I mean, I don't know. I'm not, as you know, I'm never using a chess engine when working with you guys. I like to use the brain, but this looks promising for white, for Black. Sorry. Also, something that it's good to know that often Black is favored by one less pair of minor pieces, if you see what I mean. Three sets of minor pieces is usually better. I can write that here. Yeah, three sets of minor pieces, or two, often favors Black in the Benoni. All the minor pieces means too crowded, too crowded board. You could say for too little space for Black or whatever you would call it. So anyway, let's get back to business here. f4 and knight a4. What else did you say? b3. Yeah, if you play b3, you're ignoring this Benoni bishop, right? I can think of different ways of using it. Even this flashy idea should be possible for Black. So don't play that, please. b3. What else? Bishop g5. Interesting move. Rook a4. Rook a4. That's very funny to play like that, but I can certainly see the idea. But I guess I can take and then take on a5. Yeah, I don't believe in this. Whoever said this, I don't really believe in it. I think I can take and maybe save my queen there. Well, maybe not, but it looks like I could. And also, I have some moves like 93 in the pocket. So, yeah, let's continue. Anything else here? I think that those are the main moves to think about. Knight a2, somebody said this is not a good move, but it can bring us into the right direction. If knight a2, Black will play queen takes a5. That's a good hint, by the way. That's a good hint to find the move that Grandmaster Gustafsson played in the game. So we are back in quiz mode. Here we go again. Try to play like the German Grandmaster. He managed to win this game very quickly, and some of you guys have already noticed which is the motive here in this position. I don't think that's too difficult to see. So here we go. Second and last chance. White to play and do something really convincing, okay? Aha, HDI Chess. Congratulations, we have a first winner. But I think we will have more winners on this one. Wow, this was so difficult. Yeah, trapping a queen is never easy, no? You need to use your pieces in very clever way. Every piece basically can contribute. John Sam, you also found it. Congratulations, we have two winners. Skilled Saber, you were very close. I think I have en passant there, Skilled, like we discussed in the other variation. No? En passant, and I'm blocking my c pawn. Who else was close? Almoris, you're also very close. I think I take the pawn, Almoris. I take it, 8 takes b3. So, yeah, nice. Please go ahead, John Sam. You have not said anything today, so please go ahead, John Sam. How do you continue here? We would really like to play knight a2, so we start with rook a3. That's a very tactical move, of course, although it can also be used in a strategical way in this opening. We can swing over the rook and so on, but that's not what's happening here, of course. We're about to play knight a2. We just make sure that the pawn doesn't drop off. All right, let's continue. Black played in the game rook ac8, trying to prepare some tactical rejoinder. Knight a2, aha. Now there is only one square for the queen. Now you see also that queen, by the way, queen b3 is also not available, right? So queen b5. So here, sorry, John Sam, just one moment. This is what some of you were saying, b3 and b4, but I think I have the same tactical intermezzo with cb, and I'm hitting your queen also in two different ways. So I don't think this really works out for you. The same goes for b4. So, all right, please go ahead, John Sam. The next move is very important. I told you exactly, Hollow Blade. We need to bring more pieces to this queen hunt. We would like to bring in the other knight so that we can trap the queen. Obviously, if you use this knight again, I will also just go back, right? I'll just go back to b4. So, wow, that looks like mate, Sarthak. Your queen takes f1, bishop h3, and rook e1. Is that a blitz game of yours, Sarthak, or what's that? Interesting. It seems familiar. Sarthak seems to be playing a game on chess.com right now. Interesting. Anyway, so rook c8, knight a2, queen b5, and knight d1. This is the pretty move. The last move in the game, by the way. Knight d1, we're bringing the other knight to hunt the queen. Black resigned here. We can try to make one more move, knight d3. What about knight d3? Exactly. Aha. Now we bring in the knight. There is only one way to prolong the battle here. Well, maybe two ways. Let's go one by one. If I take like that, how would you take black here, John Sam? Yeah, Sarthak was playing, it seems. He was playing a game and he shared his screen or something like that. Aha, BC, and now, funnily enough, the queen is trapped. I guess my last question here was what happens if I go knight b4 instead. But I think this is too good to be true, right? What would you play here with a cold head, with a cool head, John Sam? What would you play here? Oh, he showed the puzzle. Oh, I thought it was a game of his. Okay. It's a pity now because it was a nice puzzle that you showed, but very simple perhaps. Knight b4. You're right, skill saver, so this move, queen d1. I think that must be the best move. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we're keeping all the threats. The queen cannot go anywhere. I cannot. If I take like that, how would you take a skill saver? Well, now that the queen is not able to go to b4, we could take with knight simply. Yeah, I think we can take in other ways also, but this seems good enough. So, yeah, nice teamwork. Nobody white pieces. One move like rook a3, and then we had two blackwards moves, right? Interesting. Rook c8, and then knight a2, and the key move here was to play knight d1, bring this knight to c3. Black's bishop is in a bad place. It cannot help the queen to bounce back. So, yeah. For black, this can happen in openings like the Benoni, great opening, but it can go wrong sometimes. It can backfire and so on, especially with the queen. I remember myself once I trapped the queen like that, many years ago in the Benoni. Always be too careful about this move, 8-5. All right, I think we have arrived at our last example for today. Let me show you something also played in the German Bundesliga, and it's also from last year. We're playing with the black pieces. This is an interesting position, so take your time. You're playing with the black pieces. We're back in the IQP structure. This time we're fighting against the IQP. I would like to know what you think is black's best continuation here. As always, I won't tell you if tactics or strategy are involved, but you can probably guess that both are important in this position. So let's make a few moves. I think that will be enough. So, all right, you get 1 minute for this mission. Black to play and do something convincing, okay? Yeah, I think stuff like that's what he played in the game. He played that in the game, but it actually helped white more than black. You're weakening your position long term. But okay, we can talk about that later. The same goes for you, HDI in 206. That's what they played in this game. Dragner with white and Koch playing black. Koch played g5, but that was probably not the right choice. It weakened his position a little, and it actually helped White's bishop to. I don't know if I should say better diagonal, but I think that diagonal is useful for them. Okay. Wow, that's an interesting move. Can you play that? I looked at that also. Yeah, if you hit my rook, I will hit your knight. Okay, attack and defense. What else? Yeah, you're on the right track, Chess Vedant, Goat, Gordon, Mickey, Oski, Hong Pao. You're on the right track. You could play like that, but I think you will have a tactical problem with your bishop on a2, if you see what I mean, if you play like that. Anyone else? Yeah, many interesting moves that you have told me here. But yeah, it doesn't work, I'm afraid. Okay, GM. We have a winner here. We have a winner. GM had not said anything today, but suddenly GM appeared here. So please go ahead and show us how should black continue. No request because we have here a very good move that GM found. Knight f4. Yeah, why is this move so good? Well, we are talking IQP. IQP. Facing IQP usually means trades favor us, right? Strategy. Trades favor us. Maybe you were looking for some kind of tactical strike or something. I thought there was something better. Yeah, how can you know that if you're playing a game? My simple piece of advice would be that don't try to win every position, but play it the way it is. And if you're sitting with the black pieces, if you can trade pieces in IQP structure, for example, it's usually very helpful. Let's check what the GM had to say about this. Knight f4. Yeah, let's say I trade. Yeah, we're happy to take with the knight, of course. Now we put some pressure on d4 also. You can see some tactical motives. Let's say I play b4, and I think you played here queen d5. I think that's okay also. Yeah, it's not the best blocker now. Probably the queen. I can maybe fight against it, but it's okay also. It's okay to play queen d5. Else, you could also put the queen on c7, and your next move is going to be knight d5 most probably. You can see white has like a problem with tactics here. They would love to play something like d5, but then they're hanging the knight on e5, right? So they can try to play something else, but this is coming. Here you can see something why it's not so advisable to include these two moves, because actually the bishop will be more useful. Yeah, if you go b5, let's see. Good point. Who said that? L. Good point by L. But you have a few hanging pieces here also. Let's think about this. What would we play with the black pieces? Well, that's the first question. Can I take here, or is that bad for some reason? I can't see the tactics very clearly. We can talk about this. Yeah, maybe knight takes d4. No. You have some desperado move like that or this, but I get the open e file, and yeah, I cannot see this completely clearly. Bishop g3, I guess knight f5 could be an option for black, right? And I'm about to take here. Let me know if I'm missing some basic tactic here, but it looks okay for black. No, this position, I think, maybe. But yeah, I can't say this clearly. Yeah, knight takes d6. You can try that, of course, and I will probably take back, will I? Or wow, now we send the game into complete confusion here. I don't know. I guess I'll just take it. Yeah, I'll just take it, and you take, and I don't know. Can I bring in my rook and try to get some counterplay, or is there something better for me? I can see something here also, but I can't really make it work. I think I would just go rook d8 here, and yeah, bring my pieces to the battle, perhaps. So interesting. Yeah, interesting move b5. Certainly makes sense, no? Trying to put pressure on this square and so on. Back to our initial position. This is what we're talking about. Knight f4 is the best move here. We're forcing trades, which is very good for black. If white plays bishop e1, we have a nice move on the topic of provocation. Yeah, Koch, I think it's a typical German name, so there might be more than one. Aha. Okay, thanks, Rohan. Yeah, see you next time. Bye-bye. After, Hong Pao found a variation here. We should look into Hong Pao's variation. Let's see. Bishop takes, knight takes. How did we get there? b4, queen c7, b5, knight takes d4, bishop takes g3, knight f5, knight takes c6, knight takes d3, knight d4. Well, this smells like tactics all over the place here, but I can't see I can't see it. So anyone who can see some tactic for black, we're grateful. Something with this move coming at some point. attacking this knight and trying to play knight e4. That would be my bet here. But where do I put the queen? On e5 maybe. E5 looks like a nice square for the queen. Can I put it here? You take on g3 with the h pawn, I guess, right? Oh, queen e7 to take e3, a3. Nice thinking. Yeah, I agree, L. I agree. That's a good move because once you take on a3, white has some coordination problems. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Although I like my move also, but I haven't looked at it very carefully. But this, and if that, we play knight e4 because it's more forcing. Maybe I don't know. You play rook d3. Yeah, I play like old school. I'll play rook d8 here simply. I'm a pawn down, but honestly, I don't care so much. I like my position here. White's knight seems to be completely misplaced, but I might be missing something. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, interesting idea. Oh, I'm not a pawn down. Oh, sorry. Then even better. I thought I was somehow a pawn down, but it seems White lost a pawn in the process. Yeah, all right. So we should probably go back, right? We should go back and check some other options here. At the very beginning, I would really like to show you also what was the problem with the other move. So if you said knight e3,